Welcome to Planet Doug, and I thought where better to start the first day of the Sumatran journey than right here in my room at the Kojoy. There's the logo for the Kojoy. Because standing here I can look out the window, and I've been worrying quite a bit about what the weather is going to be like on my bike ride, particularly today because it's kind of the first day of the journey, and if it's like pouring down rain it can make things 10 times more difficult. But check it out. Blue skies looking out the window here. Could not ask for a nicer morning anyway. I imagine it will rain by the afternoon, but by the time the afternoon is here, I will be happily ensconced at the Sea Lodge Hotel in Port Dickson. So this is what is going on. Here's my bike. I'm sure I'll talk about that a bit more in the future. This trailer attaches to the back of the bike, and then I have two pannier bags that attach to the rear pannier rack. And my phone just beeped, so I think that means Matthew has arrived at the parking lot where I'm meeting him, so I have to bring all this down to the lobby of the hotel, assemble it, and then ride to the parking lot to meet up with him. And Matthew is going to drive me to Port Dickson. I'm putting the bike and the trailer in the back of his SUV, and then that will help me out a lot because I don't have to ride through the highways and the expressways of Kuala Lumpur. So it's going to be a great way to start the day. It's certainly nice to be staying in a hotel with an elevator. You don't have to carry your bike up and down all the stairs. So this is also another great way to start the day. And there's my bike ready to go. Back up to my room to get the trailer. Yeah, right now, to be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's been so long. Oh, look at that. I even forgot to press the button to go to my floor. I'm a little bit flustered. It's been a long time since I packed up for a bike tour, and everything I'm doing right now is kind of a brand new system to incorporate shooting video while on the bike. So right now, my packing consisted of grabbing things and throwing them in bags, and hopefully over time you figure out where everything is, and then you as time goes by you sort of rearrange all your gear and organize it better and put it in different better places. So next is the trailer. This trailer, by the way, is made by a company based in the Netherlands called Radical Design. And this model is the Cyclone 4 trekking trailer. Has a volume of 100 liters. It's a double wheel trailer, so you can put the wheels in a rear position where you roll it around like luggage, and then you can move the wheels to a middle position, and then it acts just like a stable bike trailer. Setting up the bike is a pretty simple process. I put the bike outside, I lock it up while it's out there, of course, and I bring all the bags down at once and try to make sure that they're all secure. It's hard to keep track of all the bags when you're loading up a bike. You have to think about what to bring out first, what to attach first, so that you're never leaving something valuable sort of untended. And here I'm moving the wheels. Like I said, they were in the rear position, and that's good for using it as luggage. And then you just click a button, the wheels pop off, an axle pulls out, and then you can just insert the axles into the middle wheel, into the middle hole, basically, the middle placement point. And then, as you can see, the trailer now balances on those wheels, and it connects. It's kind of a trailer hitch joint that clicks into place on the back of the bike. Works pretty well, and the trailer tracks behind the bicycle almost perfectly, pretty much in a straight line. And as I may talk about later in the video, it feels like a very large trailer and very wide, but in fact, from one edge of the wheel to the other edge, it's exactly the same width as my handlebars. So anywhere the handlebars go, the trailer follows. So you can just sort of ride the bike without even thinking about the trailer behind you. I have 2 pannier bags that I mount on the rear here. A normal touring bike would have 4 pannier bags, 2 on the back and 2 on the front. But I kind of like to try using a trailer. Trailer has advantages and disadvantages, but overall I do like using a trailer. And I would like to use only the trailer and no pannier bags at all, but that really doesn't work because then you're constantly getting off the bike and going back to the trailer and digging things out of it. And of course when you arrive in a new town and you want to just ride around that city and go exploring, you can't bring the trailer with you all the time, so you need at least one pannier bag that you can attach to the bike, where you put, your camera, gear, and everything you need for the day. But I find I've tried using just one pannier bag, because that's all you really need, one pannier bag in the trailer in terms of volume. But then with only one pannier bag, the bike is kind of off balance. So it's actually better to have 2 pannier bags. So I end up with more volume than I need, to be honest. I don't need a 100-liter bag in the trailer plus 2 pannier bags. This is a bit of overkill in terms of carrying capacity, but it all works out in the end. And the one thing I'm not bringing on this trip is a handlebar bag, as you see. For the first time loading up the bike, that went pretty smoothly, I have to say. Everything just clicked into place like it's supposed to, and everything looks fine. Now I just have to stop for a minute. It's often a habit or an instinct as soon as you're ready just to hop on and go. But I find it helps me out a lot if I stop for a second and think about the important things. I have my wallet, I have my passport, I have my smartphone, I have everything that's important to me. Nothing here that I need to do. You gotta sit, just gotta stop for a minute, just take a beat and think, no, I think I'm good. I think I'm ready to go. Yeah, the bike is back on the road. I mentioned that the trailer tracks perfectly behind the bike and is exactly the same width as my handlebars. And you can see a good example of that here. You might think the trailer would interfere riding through narrow spaces, like going down a sidewalk. And right up ahead, there are these poles blocking motorcycles. But as you can see on the bike, I can just ride right between the poles. And as long as my bike fits through, as long as my handlebars fit through, then the trailer will follow right behind me and I don't have to worry about it. This is the Central Market in Kuala Lumpur, and Matthew decided it was a good idea, very smart of him, to park his SUV in the parking lot of the Central Market, and then I could come find him there, and that would give us a lot of space. He's already here. He got here faster than he expected and faster than I expected, so he's been waiting for me for a few minutes. I can't remember what his SUV looked like. So where could he be? I'll have to ride around the parking lot and then see if he'll recognize me, because I'm the guy on a bike. I heard a voice. Oh. I couldn't remember what your car looked like.
Hi, man.
Here's the beast.
Oh, okay. It's a big trailer.
Yeah.
Just from the photo, it doesn't look that big, but I know the bicycle is big, though.
Yeah, so that's
okay.
the...
So you're traveling all of this. So this is basically everything else?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, it goes in there.
It gets so confusing. It's easy to lose track of things.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. This is all the parts. Anyway, you're going to assemble it when you are in Dickson, but not yet. We're going to the jetty first to get your ticket, right?
Might as well.
Yeah, I already programmed the thing directly.
Okay. I'm not very organized today.
No, it's okay. I know it takes time for you to prepare everything.
Okay, let's see which way. Actually, let me do it the other way around.
Okay, you mean the handle goes in first?
Maybe I'll take the front wheel off. It's a little more complicated than I remember. Yeah, because my tires are so big, they don't go through the brakes until I let the air out.
Oh, so that's how you let the air out.
Yeah.
Oh, the brakes, that's right.
Yeah.
The brakes at both ends.
So I guess, yeah, put it in this way. I was trying to keep the chain up.
Yes, you don't want the chain to be affected, right? That's the thing that...
So this should be okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wasn't that hard? Actually, it was a little bit hard, but could have been a lot more difficult. That worked out.
So you want to place it so that the bicycle won't move around? I don't think it would because it's resting quite...
Yeah, I think it's fine. We're going on highways too, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be bouncing or anything, I think. Just put that in
Right. And that one...
Yeah, that's...
So I'm going to close it, right?
Yep.
Alright, so now I'm just trying to locate the place to pay the...
Well, I don't know if you'd call that easy or difficult, but got it done. And as long as you get it done, that's all you need. So yeah, weather's still good. Time to hit the road. I got a little bit sweaty with that operation. Yeah, the thing is my handlebars are so bulky, it's hard to fit them into a space. But the key was removing the front wheel. And once the wheel was off, everything went smoothly after that. Now we just have to put it back together at the other end. So this is kind of interesting. Matthew's been trying to figure out how to pay to get out of this parking lot. So it's not just me that has to figure all these things out. But he has a radio playing, and I was listening to it, and it just sounded oddly familiar. The guy was talking about the weather, and he was mentioning places like Lambton County and other names that I recognized. And so I thought, what in the world? Where is this radio station from? And it turns out he tracked down a radio station from my hometown in Canada. So this is a radio station from Sarnia in Canada. And that's why I recognized all the names that they were mentioning, Lambton County and places like that. So it's the Fox 99.9 Adult Contemporary.
Wednesday, December the 21st. Check out.
But it was just so weird to hear him talking about Sarnia while looking at a map of Kuala Lumpur. I was very confused.
We were all packed up and ready to go just before 10 o'clock. I think it was like 5 to 10 when we left from the parking lot. And because of all of the one-way streets in Kuala Lumpur, in order for Matthew to navigate his way out of the city driving his SUV, he actually had to backtrack and go around a bunch of left-hand turns just in order to get back on track and get on a road heading in the right direction. So we had to turn left right here, and that actually brought us right back to the Kojoy Hotel. So we rode around in a circle right past the place where I actually left from. That was kind of funny. For much of the drive down to Port Dickson, I was looking at the highways as if I had ridden my bike along it. Like right here, for example, there's that lane exiting from the highway system, and I would have had to navigate things like that if I was riding my bike along here. So along the entire drive, I just kept looking at the highways and thinking about what if Matthew hadn't offered me a ride. Like right here, for example, if I wanted to go straight, I'd have to cut through fast lanes of traffic to move over to the right. But even going to the left here, like Matthew is changing from one highway system to another, and if I was riding my bike here, you can imagine how difficult this would be, because you look at what happens up here. I would have fast moving traffic on my right, that right lane, and then 2 lanes merging from the left, and I would be stuck in the middle between 3 lanes of fast moving traffic with really no way to go in any direction. So the more we drove along these highways and I was looking at all the conditions, the more happy I became that I was sitting in an SUV with my bike in the back and I wasn't out there trying to ride my bike along this road. People have mentioned some smaller roads that I could take, but to be honest, I could never find them. I spent tons of time on Google Maps looking for any roads smaller than this one, for example, and I couldn't find anything. Once we got out of Kuala Lumpur, a bit further south, past Putrajaya, past the airport, past Cyberjaya, then the landscape started to look like this. A little bit more relaxed, a bit of greenery showing up, and it was really quite pleasant to ride along, especially on this beautiful day.
Trip update. We're just arriving in Port Dickson now at 11 o'clock. So it took us an hour and 5 minutes from the central market where we left from. So basically an hour drive down the highway system to get here. And the whole way, of course, I'm looking at all the highways we're driving down and I'm thinking, okay, if I was riding a bike, could I have gone here? What would it have been like to ride my bike here? And judging the conditions everywhere. And yeah, I'm glad to get here with the help of Matthew in the SUV. It's a lot nicer, a lot more pleasant way to get here. And first errand, Matthew's going to drive me to the ferry terminal, to the dock. I've reserved a seat on the ferry for tomorrow. Leaves at 11 in the morning, and they say you have to show up at 9, just like an airport, you know, show up 2 hours early. And with my bicycle and my luggage, I'll probably do that just to give them enough time to load everything onto the ferry. But even though I reserved a seat, you can't get your ticket unless you go to their office. So I haven't paid for it yet. So that's the first thing I have to do is actually, I have the confirmed seat, but now I have to pay them and get the actual ticket. So that's errand number 1 here in Port Dickson. And we've been following alongside the water and getting right off to the point where we turn, yeah, right here to go to the jetty. This feels like the true beginning of the trip. Getting here and seeing the dock. Oh, there's the water, which is nice. Arrived. Oh yeah, this is the jetty Penumpang Port Dickson. And as far as I know, I'm supposed to go in here. The ferry company, the ticket counter will be in here. It's not immediately obvious where you go. but probably can find the ferry company in here. Matthew was telling me that the schools holidays have started, so in fact there might be a lot more people traveling now. All done. It was pretty painless. They're fairly concerned about security here, so there are no cameras allowed. Well, they let me take the camera in. I had it in my hand, but they wanted to make sure that it was fully turned off and I wasn't recording video when I was in there. And the ferry company, they just have a small desk or a small room there with a counter. And I just showed them my reservation number for the ticket, and everything was smooth sailing after that. I ended up buying a two-way ticket because there's sometimes an issue when you get to, when you arrive in a new country, immigration want you to have a flight or a ticket of some kind out of that country. And I haven't prepared anything like that for this trip. So since I know I'm coming back here anyway by ferry, back to Malaysia, that's a done deal, it's going to happen. I thought I might as well buy the return ticket now. It's an open date ticket, like there's no date attached to it, and it's good for 6 months. So when I arrive in Indonesia tomorrow, and if immigration asks me for, a flight, a ticket of some kind leaving Indonesia, I have a ticket to show them. And it cost 355 ringgit two-way. There was a question of a VIP ticket, like would you want just a regular economy seating or VIP seating, and I don't know what the price difference is, but I just said economy. It's a 2.5-hour ride, and I have to show up at 9 in the morning, they said. And you don't pay for the bike in advance. I thought I'd have to pay when I got my ticket, but yeah, I just show up tomorrow, and then they'll take the luggage, and you pay for the luggage when you show up. Yeah, and they said they just grab the bike and they wheel it into the cargo section of the ferry, and off you go. Yeah, nothing else to say. It was a pretty streamlined, very nice guys there. I recognized the voices because I talked to these guys on the phone. Yeah, really a great company. All right, now I guess we're going to try to find, well, it's 11:30, so it's still pretty early. I don't know if I can check into my hotel or not, but we might drive the car to the hotel and see. If not, we can just unload the bike and leave everything there and then go have lunch. So that's the plan on day number 1.
Right. Then turn right on Sierra.
There's the sea, and got here much quicker than I expected. We're at the Seafront Hotel right here. It's on the other side of the road from the sea, but it's close enough. They can call it the Seafront. And where's the...
You've arrived at your destination.
There it is. My home for one night. Seafront Hotel. But look at that, a view of the ocean, coconut trees, very nice. And I didn't choose this hotel because of that. I just chose it for a variety of reasons. It's a low budget sort of place, and it seemed like they had a lot of space, so it's good for a guy with a bicycle to have all this. I think it's got a large lobby. Bit of an older hotel, larger rooms, things like that, at a reasonable price. So let's see whether I can check in or not.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, how are you?
Good. Busy my Christmas tree.
There's your Christmas tree in the car. We were just hearing Christmas carols on the radio. Yeah.
I see Mr. Douglas.
Yes, that's me. I know we arrived in town early. I don't know if the room is available to check in early. Yeah? Oh, very painless check-in procedure. Very nice guy there, very friendly. Wow, yeah, my kind of place. Looks like they have tons of rooms down here on the main floor. I think most people would want a room on an upper floor with a balcony, window facing the ocean, that kind of thing. But I'm mainly interested in convenience. So having a room on the main floor, I can just roll my bike right into my room. So that's what I asked for. But I have to figure out how to get the key into this door lock. Not sure where the keyhole is. My home for a night. Yeah, so do just fine. Two single beds, which I don't mind. I spread out all my gear on one bed and I sleep on the other. Little table over there, window, no view of the ocean or anything like that. And then I imagine a fairly basic bathroom, but yeah, it'll get the job done. It's definitely not the Kojoy, but of course I wasn't expecting it to be. It is exactly what I expected. So yeah, I'm going to unload my bike, put it back together, and then Matthew and I are going to get lunch.
Put the wheel. Oh, yeah, take it out.
That's all right. Just
You need to hold on. No.
that's it.
You can actually do it by yourself. You didn't have help.
I've done this a lot of times in my life.
How old is this bike anyway?
I bought it in 1999. So what is it now? So it's 23 years old? Something like that. Yeah.
This bike is 23 years old.
Yeah,
Still, I'm sure you changed the chains a few times.
yeah. I've changed a lot of things, but you know, the frame and everything, whatever, it's all the original bike, but there we are. And that's it. I'll pump it up when I'm inside the room. So there's the bike fully assembled. I've got 2 water bottles on there right now, so it's about, I think that's a 2-liter bottle and 1.5, or maybe 1.5 each. So it's 3 liters, and I have room for 1 more there. So I can carry 4.5 liters of water in the frame there. And there's the trailer, all nicely assembled. Oh, thank you. I saw a picture of your hotel online, and it had some people posing for a picture out front. They had a bicycle like this. So I think other cyclists, they stayed here sometimes.
When you get to park it or bring it to your room?
I think I'll bring it in. I have to pump up the tire, and I have to work on it a little bit. That's it, all moved into my home at the seafront. Can't complain about the day and the weather for this little trip. Look at that. Tiny little beach down there. Oh, actually there's a small beach over here. Not the, I don't mean a swimming beach or anything, but just a bit of sand there. And to end the morning small adventures, we just drove along the road here, a very short distance, and there's a Nyonya restaurant here, Baba Nyonya. And Matthew picked out this place in advance. He wanted to come here and give it a try. Thought I would like it. Nyonya Delights. Oh, look at this place. This definitely has a style. It has its own decor. Laksa, chendol, chicken roll. And, oh, look at that. Photographs of all the people that have eaten here. Hello. Ah.
You got a camera.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I understood all the details, but apparently the man that is serving us here, he worked in the film industry, and when he finished his career, you had a lot of leftover set design items. The props, yeah, from TV shows and movies. And that's where the decor from this place came from. These are all props from the movies that he worked on, and he just used them to decorate his restaurant. And the Nyonya food has started to arrive at our table. And this is a chicken roll there. And this was your
Chicken Pompe.
chicken pompe. And for a drink, I got a honey lemon. And I think Matthew over there got a lime.
I brought it back from England.
Oh, yeah?
The first film.
Oh.
The soup, you know, Raiko?
Mm-hmm.
Then the egg.
Okay.
The first movie.
Very first.
During that time.
1920s, his first movie. 1917, I think, Charlie Chaplin. There's the vegetable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, chicken roll is nice. Those vegetables are nice too. It's a lot, yeah, it's not what I was expecting. As part of our Nyonya set, the dessert is chendol. So there it is there, brought to the table. I had to change the battery in my GoPro just now, so it's been melting on me. I have to eat quickly before it all melts away. That was a really good lunch, and it was a very good choice by Matthew to bring me here. I love the decor on the inside. I think if I slow this video down, I could look at all the items here and see more and more interesting movie props. I don't know what was my favorite part of the meal. Probably the chicken roll, and then second to that, the chendol. And I really like the vegetables. From here, Matthew drove back to KL. I settled into my room, and then later on I came out for a walk around my neighborhood. It's now later in the day, just about 5 o'clock. I came outside, resting up in my room a little bit, but I came outside looking for something to eat. The plan is to get something to eat relatively early so that I have lots of time this evening to relax and pre-pack and get organized for putting my bike on the ferry tomorrow morning. Still pretty warm out. Sun is a lot lower in the sky, but I can still feel it beating down. But here's the shoreline at Port Dickson. I didn't realize it was there, but earlier I was pointing out a little bit of sand here. I joked that it wasn't really a beach, but there really is a beach over there. Right over there, you can see there's a bit of sand there. So I think what I'm going to do is just walk along the road and head down to that beach for a minute. Check out some of the local scenery. But yeah, it's nice to be down by the water. The Seafront Hotel is not messing around when it comes to signs. Look at the size of the name up at the top there. From over here, it looks huge. And I guess I'll get something to eat at one of the 3 restaurants here. There's this place here, Umi They serve Western food and things like that. And then there's another restaurant here, and I think a third one there. I'll pick one of those for dinner tonight. I came down to the shore here. It's right beside quite a large restaurant that appears to be closed. This is a big place right here, kind of a sea view, I think it's called. I thought this was the beach I was trying to get to, but it's still a little bit further away. So gotta walk a little bit farther to get to that beach. I'm not sure if this road gets me down to the beach either, but it's the first road I came across. And an interesting set of houses here too. And there it is, the beach that I was aiming for. I'm not sure if I can get there from this wall. Probably not. It's going to be a little bit too far down. But I think I can scoot around it. Oh, look at this. Yeah. One can clamber down here. And there we are. This morning I woke up in Chinatown, Kuala Lumpur, and the end of day I'm on a beach on the Strait of Malacca. And as I was walking along the road to get here, I passed a few other kind of outdoor restaurants. One place was called Black Pepper Burger. I think I might drop in there. Saw a bunch of people sitting at tables outside. So there's a bunch of people sitting there. Probably means that they're open. So I might check that place out. See if I can get a simple dinner there. It's quite nice. Wide open public beach, open to anyone. My eye is always attracted to these signs telling you all the things you can't do. And let's see what we can do at this beach. Can't ride a motor vehicle, no littering, no campfires, no vandalism, of course. No riding ATVs, no pets, no camping, no immoral activities. I like that one though. They always, I've noticed this in a lot of different places where they try and have a sign against immoral activities, but they can't show the immoral activity because that would be immoral. So they actually show you something very wholesome. So here we have two people just watching the sunset on a park bench, and yet that is their example of immoral activity. So no enjoying the sunsets. And offenders will be prosecuted by order of the president. Huh, it's funny. This is very nice. Probably be even nicer in an hour or so. I said, I thought I was coming out late in the afternoon, but it isn't quite as late as I thought it was. So the sun is still pretty high in the sky, pretty hot as I walk along. Good thing the sun's not setting. If I sat down and watched the sunset, I could be prosecuted for immoral activities. And without knowing it, I guess this is where I am. Tanjung Gemok Beach, Pantai. I believe that means beach with a sea turtle. That's quite the building. Abandoned, top to bottom, every floor. Every apartment is empty. And yet the entrance is wide open. Huh. Looks like it's been this way for a long time. You know, it's long enough. Up at the top there, you can see just how much the trees have overtaken the building. Huh. Of course, immediately makes me think of all the ghost stories, haunted house stories you could set here. But across the road there, that's the Black Pepper Burger place that I saw, but they didn't have any seating, so they had one table and it was occupied. Ah, thank you. So I ended up over here, and I just saw the name of this place, Hassan Martabak. And I guess martabak is their specialty, so that's what I ordered, along with a mutton soup. So chicken, martabak, and mutton soup. So here's the food preparation area. And I'm going to end the day with a Coke over ice. So I might have to move to a new table. This one is directly in the hot sun. Whew. I feel like I need this. Nice. That hit the spot. And this is my mutton soup. Oh, wow. Big chunks of mutton in there. Nice. And sitting here, I can watch my martabak being prepared. Now that I think of it, martabak was one of my favorite dishes when I first went to Sumatra on my first trip. I had it a lot when I first got there, but then after a while I stopped ordering it. So it's been a while since I've had one. It's a nice soup. It's got a kind of a sour, spicy tang to it. So that is my martabak guy over there. He's busy making my martabak. I ordered that mutton soup in addition to the martabak because I wasn't sure if the martabak would be a big enough meal for me, so I wanted to have something else. But just that bowl of mutton soup would have been a meal for me. Yeah, it was very filling. But I still have room, and the martabak has arrived. Looks really good. It's a big, thick martabak. So there's the martabak. This is chicken martabak. So a lot of the filling in here is chicken and egg, I believe. You can see, oh yeah, look at that. And it comes with a bunch of dipping sauces. I asked the waiter, and he said this is fish curry, red onions, and then I believe he called this dal sambal. Hard to cut through that whole martabak. That's a substantial piece of food there. There it is there. Get away, fly. Yeah, this would have been a meal all on its own by the time I get through all 4 pieces. I think it's got a lot of onion in there, as well as the egg and the chicken. So let's try a piece with the fish curry. And let's try a piece with the sambal, the dal sambal. It's a nice set of flavors to sort of go from one to the other. It's nice to have some of that red onion in between all the other. The red onions are kind of sweet, offsets the spiciness of the other stuff. I think I remember now why I stopped ordering the martabak. I think it's so big for one person. It's a lot. By the time you get to the end of it, the flavor of it becomes kind of overpowering. I think a martabak like this would be shared amongst 4 people. You know, each person gets 1 piece. I don't know about one person eating all of this. But I was asking the guy when I was placing my order, I asked him for his advice about like how big is the martabak? Is it enough for 1 meal? Or should I order something else? And he says, well, he said it's medium size. But if this is a medium martabak, I'd hate to see a large. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of food by the time I'm done. So this will carry me over for a long time. And that's the end of dinner. And with that, probably the end of the day as well. The mystery of the soup was solved by the price. I didn't ask how much it cost before I ordered it. I just thought it was a light soup that came along with other dishes, you know, almost like just a broth or something. But no, it was a substantial meal with a lot of mutton in it. So I kind of suspected it would be as expensive as a full meal, and it was. So the mutton soup was 13 ringgit, and the martabak was 8. Well, maybe one of them was less, I guess, because the whole total came to 21, along with my Coke. 21 ringgit for the whole meal, including the Coke. I would definitely have the mutton soup again. That was really good. Martabak, as I said, I think I'd have martabak if I were with a bunch of people, you know, and we could each have a piece. I don't think I'd want to power through 4 of those big chunks all by myself again. There's something about the flavoring in it. The flavoring just becomes overpowering after a while. 1 piece is enough, and you kind of want to move on to something else. 4 is too many. So I think that's why, as I said, that's why I stopped ordering martabak previously. Wow. I'm not... It's not quite immoral activity time yet. There isn't quite a sunset, but it's going to happen pretty fast. There's the sun's position up in the sky, and I find that when the sun gets there, from that point, it goes very fast, down to the horizon. You think it's going to take a long time, but somehow when it gets close to the horizon, the sun seems to suddenly speed up. So sunrise will be happening, and as I read in the sign, watching the sunset is not allowed. At least you can't sit on a park bench and watch the sunset. But that's it for day 1 of the Sumatran small adventure. And tomorrow is going to be the key day because I have to get on that ferry. That ferry has to leave at 11. Has to get me to Indonesia before my visa for Malaysia expires. So that's the goal for tomorrow. Good weather, smooth seas, nice smooth boat ride to Dumai in Sumatra. See how that turns out, and you'll see what happens if you come back and watch the next video.